Cincinnati in 1894, the Dent Public School was open, teaching all grades kindergarten through 12th grade. The school was seen as the ideal establishment to send the local school children. The school was equipped with the finest teachers, cafeteria workers, and janitorial staff for miles. The school was very successful and thought highly upon. But in 1942 several students, known for their disruption in the classroom, mysteriously vanished. They were last seen at the Dent Public School. The Dent police began an investigation and came to the conclusion that they must be runaways. 2 years later, 1945, 4 students went missing in October. Local police were baffled as to what was happening to the students. Rumors started to spread that the local children disappearing had something to do with the school. School remained as normal, but rumors kept coming out about the missing kids. It wasn't until 1952 when 3 more students were not seen after school. Students at the public school began to complain about a strange smell that was coming from the basement. When Charlie, the head of janitorial services, was asked about the smell, he said it was the pipes clogging up. After a couple weeks the smell subsided, but new rumors spread that Charlie the janitor had something to do about the local kids' disappearances. In October of 1955, more than 7 students vanished without a trace. The local kids complained about a smell that was coming from the basement that was actually causing some children to pass out. Community members of Dent rallied together and stormed up to the Dent Public School. The angry mob bust down the large doors of the schoolhouse and proceeded to go into the basement of the school. The local rioters were shocked at the grisly sight that was strung throughout the janitor's basement. The basement was covered with the decaying remains of the missing students. Bodies had been sealed in barrels, wedged behind the brick walls of the basement, and left in sanitary tubs to decay forever. A search for the janitor went over 2 weeks, but he was never found. The school was closed shortly after the discovery. The old schoolhouse is now said to be haunted with the roaming spirits of the children that were taken care of by the janitor. Rumors are that the janitor came back after several years of the schoolhouse being closed. His body was never found, but his spirit is still said to clean the old building. The spirit is also said to have taken care of local trespassers that try sneak a peek at his home in the basement. October 25, 2011. Charlie the janitor can be spotted, whether ethereally or in real life, we'll never know, hobbling along the corridors of the Dent Schoolhouse in Cincinnati. But don't stare at his mangled face for too long. He might think you're taunting him, and he doesn't like that. The first students to taunt him in 1942 went missing and were never found until 1955, when an angry mob discovered their bodies and several others in Charlie's basement, decaying and disfigured. The students' remains were sealed in barrels, wedged behind the brick walls of the basement, and left in sanitary tubs to decay forever. After a 2-week search, Charlie was said to have left the town but is rumored to still stalk the schoolhouse, terrorizing those foolish enough to visit. This legend haunts Dent, but the tale is more than a fable for the people of the town. The schoolhouse used to be an actual school when it was first built in 1894. The rustic red brick building was the site where children were killed in the 50s, according to town legend. Bud Strauss, co-owner of the Dent Schoolhouse, says the air of spookiness isn't just a feeling. It's definitely haunted. Cincinnati police haven't confirmed it, but I think they're just trying to forget, Strauss says. The school shut down in the 50s because of the children's deaths, Strauss says. It became a haunted house 20 years ago, and it raked in 30,000 visitors last year. Interested students can take a tour of the spectral school beginning in the eerily empty playground and then make their way into the building. As they roam corridors and peer into classrooms, they'll get a peek of a chilling reminder not to mess with Charlie. Scrawled on the chalkboards is the line, written over and over, "I will not taunt the janitor." Charlie isn't the only spook. Teachers and cafeteria workers still roam the hallways of the deserted building, scaring visitors as they go. But the basement is perhaps the most frightening. It presents a gruesome look at what happened to the ill-fated children, complete with all the blood and gore you could ever wish for. The tours began in late September and will continue through October, Thursday to Sunday. But should you visit, a word of caution. Visitors should be on their best behavior. Miscreants, rather than getting sent to the principal's office, instead go to Charlie's basement, and they rarely return.